let's look at crime and what Parliament is saying about it. Well, Volta Regional Parliamentary Caucus has offered a 15,000 bounty for information leading to the arrest of assailant who murdered the Assembly member of Sogakope South, Marcus Mauto Adali. The Member of Parliament for North Tongue, Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa, made the disclosure when he led the caucus and some Volta Regional Executive of the National Democratic Congress to commiserate and sympathize with the bereaved family. This adds up to the 10,000 bounty from the Assembly and an additional 25,000 offered by former President Jerry John Rawlings. Mr. Ablakwa, who described the murder incident as barbaric and heinous, fears the police might not get enough evidence to track down the assailants due to the unprofessional handling of the crime scene.
Volta Caucus in Parliament, together with the Regional National Democratic Congress of the Volta region, have been here in Sogakope on a fact-finding mission to ascertain for ourselves the circumstances leading to the barbaric and very heinous murder of the young man Mauto, who until his unfortunate demise was the assembly member of this area. We have also been commiserating with his family. We've met his parents. We've met the external family, and we have been presenting to them our condolences and conveying to them our deep sympathies. We have also met with the district chief executive, who is the chairman of DISEC in South Tongue. We've also met with the divisional commander. We have also proceeded to the crime scene to see for ourselves where the whole unfortunate barbaric murder took place, and we have indicated our reservations about even how the crime scene has been left unprotected. Evidence is being destroyed, and we don't think that the way the crime scene is being managed will help to unravel the mystery behind this murder. We have also been announcing our own efforts to support the whole search for the perpetrators and to ensure that they are apprehended and brought to justice. And so the caucus has conveyed to the divisional police commander, the family, and the DCE for South Tongue that we are presenting or making available 15,000 Ghana cedis to support the ransom, which will be presented to whoever volunteers information leading to the apprehension and prosecution of the heinous crime which has shocked the nation. We also want to use this opportunity to thank all those who have been working around the clock to ensure that justice is served. We want to thank former President Rawlings, who has also donated 25,000 Ghana cedis, the founder of our party, and you know that he is one of the prominent citizens of this district, South Tongue. He comes here often, and this assembly member will have served him if he was alive. And so we want to commend him highly for his gesture as a statesman. It's a very worthy example. We also want to commend the vice chairman of the NDC in South.
Member of Parliament for North Tongue, Okujeto Ablakwa there. Mr. Azali was stabbed and shot to death in a robbery incident in the early hours of Sunday. His wife and one of his daughters survived the attack with knife and gunshot wounds. His daughter has some bullets removed from her head at the South Tongue District Hospital in Sogakope. Komla Adomesin Sogakope and will join us shortly live, but he has been assessing the impact on businesses in the area. He was at the toll booth.
International highway from Accra through Sogakope through to Aplao. Now, this highway is very important for many reasons. One, it is the route that many individuals ply when they are headed for neighboring countries such as Togo, Burkina Faso, and Benin. Now, according to officials of the Roads and Highways Authority and those who manage the toll booths here, on Sunday, when the protest erupted following the killing of the assembly member for the area, there was a gridlock here, heavy gridlock, I have to say, and it resulted in some revenue losses. According to officials, a target of 4,852 cedis, which was supposed to have been realized from tolls on this stretch, was not achieved. The toll operators were only able to realize an amount of 2,000 cedis, 825 pesos. Now, according to officials, this is a shortfall of 1,700 cedis in revenue due to the protest by the angry youth. Now, as if that was not enough, on Monday, the protests renewed again. And here, the officials had to flee the toll booths because we are told that the angry residents burnt tires and, burnt wood and many other missiles here at the police barrier. According to what we're learning, on Monday morning, or by close of day Monday, an amount of 4,794 cedis was to have been realized. But as a result of the long hours of wait and delay here because of the protests, the officials were only able to realize 3,000 cedis, 609 cedis. Now, this is the reason why this particular stretch is very important, and for the reason why the residents also decided to, of all the things to do in protest, block this stretch to traffic. We are told by the local authorities here that they have been speaking to the youth of the area to attempt a resolution on this matter so they do not have the youth storm this area and block the roads again.
Komla Adom with that report there. We're hoping to reach out to him once again. But in the meantime, police in Sogakope are dismissing claims that they fired live rounds at angry residents on Monday during the protest over the killing of the assembly member Marcus Ajali. The district chief executive for South Tong, Emmanuel Agama, says the police are probing the matter. Now, if you recall, the police has taken quite some time in bringing out this information. They tell us they're still making inquiries to bring us detailed information from their investigation. Let's go over and speak to Komla Adom, who has been to the scene for us. Hello, Komla. Komla, let's start with those who were shot or those who received gunshot wounds and were treated at the hospital. Give us an update.
Hello, Gipsy. I lost you. Can you come again, please?
Yes, I'm asking for an update. We're starting with those who were hit by the stray bullets, according to them.
Okay, so Gipsy, we are told by the district chief executive that upon their visit to the hospital, they were told that the 3 individuals have been discharged. So the officials of the assembly are now going to pay a visit to them in a couple of hours. And then they have promised to take up the medical bills of these 3 individuals who were hit by the bullets from the police. So we know that at least one of them is a female, and then the 2 others are also male. So they've been told by Mr. Emmanuel Agama, with the DC for the area, that, well, they are in stable condition now. And they have also opened a probe to ascertain whether indeed the police fired live rounds into the crowd which injured these individuals, or rubber bullets were dispensed as the police is.
They denied that they did fire live ammunition into the crowd. What else have they been saying?
Well, in my interaction with the district chief executive, he tells me that there's been a series of security meetings over the last 3 days, all ostensibly in a move to beef up the security situation in the neighborhood. We know, of course, that the agitations were sparked following the murder of the assembly member for the area, Mauto Ajahi. Now, the district chief executive tells me that, among other things, they have resolved to mount checkpoints along the highway. Now, Gipsy, this highway we know is very important because it hosts a lot of commuters who are using this stretch from Accra to neighboring countries, Togo, Benin, Burkina Faso, etc. And so they say they're going to be mounting roadblocks checkpoints, advantage points on the highway to check people who come in and out of the town. We know also that Sogakope plays host to a lot of resorts and tourist attraction sites, and so this is one of the reasons why perhaps robberies and break-ins are rampant here, because the people suspect that people who are coming in on sightseeing or coming to visit or coming for leisure are carrying valuables, and so they are attacked. So this he tells me they're going to mount these checkpoints to deal with that. Two, he says that because it's a highway, the speeding on the stretch is overwhelming sometimes, and so they're going to also put ramps, also advantage points. He speaks about also getting police personnel deployed to the area. So one of the issues the residents raised at the press conference on Sunday was that the policemen here are inadequate to deal with the numbers of the residents. So they tell us that, for example, 30 police personnel were transferred from this place. And since the transfer of these 30, they've not had equal number of police brought back to the community. So there's a shortfall. But this year assures that they're going to speak to the Accra region to deploy people to come to deploy more men to this area so they beef up the situation. Now, when I got here, I got to the police station where the hostilities occurred on Monday. You could see a lot of destruction to property, but then you could also see a crowd control vehicle and some 5 or 6 police officials stationed along the stretch just around where the exchanges happened on Monday. So it's a raft of measures the Assembly says it is rolling out to attempt to beef up the security situation here.
You have a statement here. Speaking of the relationship between the police and the people, the residents had given the police a 3-day ultimatum to take some actions, and there is a statement here. Do you want to give us a wrap of it, or do you want us to go through it here, and then we'll come back to you?
Okay, so one of the things stated in the statement, you know that the 3-day ultimatum elapsed or expired yesterday, and one of the opinion leaders, who is Maxwell Mitako, now he says, for example, that the relationship between the police and the residents has gone frosty over the last few weeks. Also because of the claims by the residents that over time, whenever there is a robbery or an attack on anybody in the area, it takes a long while for the police to respond to them. And so the residents have essentially lost trust. There was a question I pushed the DCE about the seeming mistrust that the residents have for the police. He says they are working to fix that problem because without the police, really, the community members cannot live. And the reason why the police are there is to provide and protect property and life. And so once the residents fall out with the police, it becomes very difficult to ensure security in the area. So he says, for example, they are taking some of the men through some man management skills. They are also looking at beefing up the numbers here. And then also the new individuals who are going to be transferred here to add to the numbers are going to, ensure that all the issues that are raised and the rest and the concerns they have relating to security in the area will be dealt with. But the DC also mentions that over the last 2 years, police in the area have been able to apprehend some suspects of crime. He gives some examples that in one instance, robbers broke into a home, stole some property and raped an 18-year-old in the process. The police apprehended the suspects and then put them in court. Those are before court. He also cites another instance where there was a highway robbery situation. He says police were able to apprehend the suspects and they are before court. So he cites a number of things to respond to the opinion leaders that it is not the case that the police are sitting here and not doing anything about the situation of the people, but rather they are working and they just need more collaboration with the community folk. We also know from the statement that was issued by Maxwell Lukuto, for example, that one of the things they speak about, one of the things they want to have addressed is night patrols in the area, which is one of the things that DC tells me has been instituted. So they have the police patrols here at night, at the checkpoints, also at the barriers, at the toll booths, etc. So that's one of the issues that they've addressed. Also, another thing the DC tells us that they have resolved to do is to carry out checks, map checks at night, specifically people who are on motorbikes, people who ride through town at night. They're going to be carrying out map checks, to check if any of these individuals may be carrying weapons or may be carrying looted material of sorts, and then they can be able to track wrongdoing in the area. So those are just a number of issues that officials in the assembly say they are, urgently working at.
Well, before I let you go, Komla, quickly, what did you see when you got there today? How is I mean, we know that calm has been restored, but generally, give us a brief mental picture of what you saw when you got there today.
Right, so just get into town. Activities have returned to normal. Students are returning to their business. The students on the highway. Those of you who use this road a lot, you know that when you get to the barrier, just after the bridge, a lot of business activities go on here. Food vendors, those who sell yam, those who sell apollo, those who sell fish, those who sell food, all of them are back at work, doing business as usual. Right. Even at the spot where the car tires were bent and the demonstration happened, all the traders are back there doing their work. But when you move into town proper and you move towards the residence of the late assembly member, that is where you sense grief, you sense anger, you sense, emotions of a community looking for answers. You find, people trooping into the home of the assemblyman, for example. Every 5 minutes, people are coming in to understand for themselves exactly what happened. Because just to remember, we are told that this man in question was a man of the people, he was a philanthropist, he was the assembly member, a very popular young man in the area, owned multiple businesses, and has also employed many people in the process. And so his killing cut short a line of livelihoods of young people here, and those young people are wondering where they're going to get their food, having their benefactor passing through these tragic circumstances. And so for that area, the aspect of people who live close or knew the late Ajayi closely, it's emotions they cannot control. They are just asking themselves questions and wondering if they could ever be closer on this particular matter.
Well, we're looking at a 60,000 in total bounty placed on the head of those who perpetrated this crime. So we hopefully should find something along during the week next week. Komla, thank you. Komla Adom brought us that report from Sogakope, where he's checking on the ground what is happening there.